Hello and aloha pa to all the Baha'is and non-Baha'is alike all over the planet. Today is the 2nd of January. Time is close to 11:45 in the night. I'm as usual in the kitchen, which is my studio, and I'm going to continue the discussion I had on the matter of the ethics, which would be the freedom. Freedom is the word that every young man, at least all the young people of the world at the younger age, they're all enamored with it. They're all enchanted with it. The words that there's so much comes with it. Freedom, is the highest peak of humanity. It's the climax of goodness. So many definitions they've put through it. His Divine Majesty, the Father of the Universe, Baha'u'llah, who is the source of the pure kindness, in his most holy book, the Kitab Aqdas, which essentially is the constitution of the world, he takes on the matter of the freedom as it is defined and it's illustrated today and at his time in 1800. He seriously attacks it, and basically this kind of freedom fighting and freedom seeking, we brings it right to the status of animals, and he says it's like jungle then. And he stresses that freedom, if we're going to live with each other, has to be in parameters of the laws and the rules that perhaps brings happiness. So many people have asked me, this kind of a statement that Baha'u'llah has in Kitab Aqdas is the backbone and the source of all this ayatollahs and popes and all these religious, dilemmas that we have. This is a false, false defense, false claim on the behalf of these people. When Baha'u'llah speaks about anything in his religion, in his faith, in his mission called Baha'i faith, it has to coordinate when he talks about the truth, about the rules, about what he recommends and suggests us and bids us and orders us and commands us. It has to be useful, and it has to create happiness for everyone, including for you and for everybody else, for individual and social and society. So whatever meaning that one can think about freedom in his own personal dictionary, if it amounts to sadness, sorrow, pain, affliction of individual and society as a whole, of course it's not freedom. You may call it freedom, but that's an anarchy. That's exploitation. That's a competition that you want to win. It's a race. That's not freedom. Baha'u'llah accepts the freedom, and he defines it really, is the one that makes us all happy. If as a result of an ethical point of view and the notion of freedom, we become happy ourselves, and people surrounding us, they're all happy too. So the consequence is happiness, and the actual action is not outside of the parameter of the truth. It is true and it is useful, then it's acceptable. But under this freedom that we have, for example, in the West, I've written some notes here, we call it freedom of expression. In this society, a food A can of food has labels, what's in it, what's the ingredients of it, and what does it do. And if it goes outside of the health, it becomes illegal to sell it. They take it out of the market. And it seems this society understands man is nothing but the body. What about under this freedom of expression when people make thousands of movies in Hollywood and books that just spread fear? Fear from nothingness, fear from imagination. Fear from Dracula, fear from chainsaw massacres, fear from things that doesn't exist. Other psychologists in the West, any man of any understanding would disagree that this causes problem in the youth. You know, under the freedom of this expression, so-called, when we're spreading lies. If you spread hatred against the minority, any society, it's illegal. But you're going to spread lies about the existence of Batman and Superman and Spider-Man and little children to tell them that, what do you want to be? I want to be a Superman. I want to be a Spider-Man. Things that doesn't exist. Lying to the people about the existence of people and planting the seed of this imaginations, fancy imagination, into the brain of the people, make them unable to think, sway in the world of imaginations. How can that not be illegal when it hurts people? So this is the situation, that if these are freedoms that we're looking for, to spread lies, to create fear, to change the reality, takes people into complete imaginary situation that they cannot exist, into violence, spreading violence, these games and all that, so people cannot think. If this society doesn't understand man, then he could bring a formula for his freedom. But they think man is an animal, is a body. And then it goes with his body, it's illegal. In smoking, they write down all the labels. All these movies that are made, 90% of them, they have to be written what they are. They're not, And then look at the freedom fighters in the East. They recognize there's a problem, they get rid of the problem without having any plan of what to do next. In Iran, they didn't lock the Shah of Iran and his regime because it wasn't letting them to express whatever they want. They thought, US and Canada is better. They brought them down and replaced it with something worse. Because every individual is nothing but a dictator, is an ignorant individual, is a man in the chain of ignorance and the chain of oblivion. They get together, they're going to create a huge organization of ignorance. That will be their emanations of their government. It's nothing but that. Few people, maybe among the Palestinians, God knows only, that they're taking all this violent act and afflicting the rest of the population, forcefully saying that this is the truth. Just like these terrorists, they have developed some convoluted idea of Islam. All of them may not be even 1 million in people, and they're representing the 1 other billion Muslims, but they have nothing to do with them. They're trying to force them that this is the way. They go individually talk to the people, they disagree with it, but they want to come in, So, when are we going to understand the meaning of freedom and stop this barrage of lies, these misunderstandings, completely veiling the people from the reality and the truth? What is this captivity that we are talking about, that we like to be free from it? If it is ignorance, well, then the freedom fighter is Albert Einstein. If it is sickness, well, that's then Albert Schweitzer, Dr. Livingston, and thousands and millions of doctors that they're developing every day, things that makes us safer. Then Dr. Oz show and these Discovery channels are the real representative of the freedom that we're looking for. Freedom from bacteria, freedom from sickness, from virus. So, but the way it's going right now in the West, the whole thing has been completely, in the recent centuries, I can think of, to find out some sanity and what mankind on its own, without the help of God, have tried to do. And if you talk to them, of course, they say, no, we believe in all the religion. One of them is Mahatma Gandhi, that brought some social freedom to the Indian. But look at how he was. His freedom that he brought include all the religions in it. He did not even hate English people. I've been in India. They always appreciate the help that the English people have brought to India by creating railway and whatnot. So the truth has to be told, And Nelson Mandela, of course, the African diamond under the pressure of like a coal mine. We were pressed and depressed and depressed. The black people were pressed and repressed and depressed and suppressed. And finally some diamond came out of it, and that's Nelson Mandela. The diamond of the South Africa for the humanity. I can see that, but he didn't come to say that kill all the white people. I knew what was positive and what was wrong. Just fixed what was wrong. Not just go and discriminately get rid of all the people. So, who are the heroes? They have made thousands of heroes in the United States, about 1,000. Nobody has made one real account of the Abdu'l-Baha visiting in 1912 the United States and the impact that he had on the American society in such a short amount that even the President of the United States came to his meeting. Great people of them. Graham Bell invited him to Chicago Institute of Technology. Have they ever made any account of him? An Iranian who all his life was in the jail of the Ottoman Empire. He couldn't speak English. At old age he came to the United States. Look at the impact he had. Not even a movie, not even a mention made out of it. Because they're promoting freedom for their own personal interest. Let's have freedom, they say. Freedom of enterprise. Okay. The lions and the tigers and the boa constrictors are all going to win. Everybody else is going to be food. This is the free enterprise. Economy of competition. Not of cooperation. Not of the collaborations. Nothing towards the need. It's all towards the greed or false needs. Needs that doesn't exist. Who knows? The American, white American, Martha Ruth. Has any movie made about her? This woman spread